coming at you. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. It is happening. The Binding 13 reading vlog. Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. I cannot believe the response I got when I said this was going to be on my TBR for May. Everybody's obsessed with it, and I really hope it doesn't let me down. I hope it doesn't let me down. The hype is real with this one. So, okay, let's just get into it. I'll read a chapter or two and get back with you. I think I have a slight advantage in this book because this glossary is familiar to me because my husband is Irish. So a lot of these slang and everything is already familiar to me. So I was going to jump right in, but I'm like, okay, I'm just assuming you all know what this book is about, which is probably true anyway, but I should still tell you what it's about. So Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. The back says, he wants to save her, she wants to hide. She's damaged, he's determined. Fate brought them together. Love binds them. Johnny Kavanagh has everything going for him. On the rugby pitch, he's a force to be reckoned with, even plagued with a hidden injury. Everyone knows he's heading straight for the big top. That's not what it says. Everyone knows he's heading straight for the top, but that means there's no room for mistakes or distractions. Not even the shy new girl at Tommen College, the one with the sad eyes and the concealed bruises. He needs to stay focused, keep his cool, and not let anything get in the way of the bigger picture. Except for, before he knows it, this lonely girl has become his only picture. Life has never been easy for Shannon Lynch. Bullied and tortured, she arrives at Tommen College midway through the school year, praying for a fresh start and desperate to shake off the demons that plague her. But when she meets with the notorious Johnny Kavanagh on her first day, her plans to keep a low profile are at serious risk as they fall into a complicated friendship and grapple with their undeniable chemistry. Hidden pain and complicated secrets threaten to be their undoing, but Johnny won't give up on Shannon, no matter what it might cost them. Binding 13. Coming at you. Is it just me, or is this font not super small?
Hey everybody, have you read this book?
Little update, I'm on chapter 2. I just finished chapter 1. A lot of trauma for one chapter. So far so good. Good morning. Okay, update on Binding 13. I am halfway through chapter 5. I'm also listening to the audiobook. Let me tell you, the guy, I've only listened to a Johnny chapter with the audiobook, and his accent is thick. It took me a minute to get acclimatized to that, even though I'm used to Irish accents, but yeah, his was really, really thick. The plot's fine so far. Like, no complaints really about the plot, but the writing. I have like really high expectations for this book and really high hopes, so maybe I'm being like, I don't think I'm being overly critical, but I will say I feel like, especially if I had like I was able to sleep on like the first couple chapters, especially the first chapter, but even more, not as much, but it's continuing from what I've read so far, is that Chloe Walsh is definitely telling us and not showing us a lot. You know, that whole thing, show and don't tell. She's not doing that in this book so far. She is just like front loading like all and just telling us everything that's happened instead of showing us what's happened. So obviously I'm very early in the book. But I feel like her trauma and like all of her backstory, which we get in the first chapter, I think at this point in the book, I think maybe it would be better served. It would have been better served if Shannon's kind of trauma was kind of revealed throughout the book. And then we kind of realize slowly how intense it was and how important it was and like all that. I don't know if there's room for that in the plot. Obviously, I'm very early. But first impressions is that we are being told a lot, not shown a lot. The writing's very superficial and topical, which can be fine. I think the book probably will be entertaining. But yeah, for now, like my biggest takeaway so far is that we are being told everything and shown very little. Hi, everybody. I hope this angle isn't too awkward. It's a little bit down, but I'm too lazy to get my tripod out and I don't want to hold it. Anyway, yeah. Binding 13 update. I am currently on page 125, chapter 11. So I'm making progress. It's 97 degrees today in LA, so earlier we were out at the pool, and it got so hot we had to come inside because it's very, very warm. But I did some reading at the pool. I'm enjoying it. I'm like, how many pages did I send? I said, yeah, so 125 pages, and the main characters have only spoken twice. But, so that seems like a bad thing. But there's a really interesting cast of characters that come along with these people. So they've been entertaining the reader in the meantime while things happen separately with these the two main characters. Yeah. So very kind of like simplistic writing, I would say, and that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. She's kind of stopped telling so heavy-handed what's been going on with them in their inner mind or whatever. It's starting to like peter out a little bit. So maybe we'll get some like development, not so on the page, if that makes any sense. Is this making any sense? I don't know. Yeah. So I'd like some things to develop kind of naturally within the story instead of just being like, this happened to this person, and like just telling us what happened. Anyway. But yeah, it's entertaining me. Is it a literary masterpiece so far? No. But it is very entertaining so far. The scene with Brian the cat, that was like, I laughed out loud reading that whole scene. That was really funny. So the jury's still very much out, I guess, because I have a ton to go. And the stakes aren't nothing dramatic, really. Nothing super dramatic has happened. Okay, time for a big update on Binding 13. I made a lot of progress yesterday. I'm on chapter 42, and that is page 364. So I am like well past the halfway point. Okay. I'm very much enjoying it. It's very much keeping my attention. The cast, like I said before, the cast of characters are very entertaining because most of our main characters spend most of the time apart. They have very little on page time together. That's growing as we get closer to the end of the book. But yeah, that surprised me. I mean, this book is, I'm 350 pages in, and a lot of the growth and all of that is happening independently as far as their realizations about feelings and stuff. So yeah, I mean, there's about 500 pages in this book. So I'm curious how it's going to end as far as like the relationship. So yeah, I am enjoying it. It's keeping me reading. I'm liking it. Is it living up to the hype so far? Not completely. Not totally. I feel bad saying that. People love it, but whatever. You love it. I'm so happy for you. And I know there's a sequel. I will definitely read more of the books. Like I am on the train. I just don't know if I am as obsessed with it as everybody else is. Gibbsy is like a highlight of this book. And I know he gets his own books. So I'm excited to read those. Like very sad, like state of affairs for Shannon. That's not she's got a lot of problems obviously in her life. Believe me, there are some sad elements in here, but like, I don't think it's as heartbreaking as far as the emotionals, like as far as like the couple. I feel like a lot of the heartbreaking stuff is outside of the couple's storyline. So that's not what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be between the two of them. Yeah, honestly, what's keeping me like the most entertained at this time is the hope and like what's it going to be like when things naturally progress to a certain point. That I think I'm really looking forward to that, which it hasn't happened yet at 350 pages. And then also, like I said, like everyone else around them that orbits around them is really keeping me interested. I'm sure this last quarter of the book is going to be full of drama. Hopefully. Yeah, let's be real. It's not living up to the hype. I had extremely high expectations, so that does not help. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Okay, everyone, I did it. I finished Binding 13. Lots of thoughts. And I don't think anything I really would think I want to talk about, I think I can talk about without spoilers. So this ended up being a vlog without spoilers. And if that changes, I will still let you know. We're currently in a reading sprint right now, so I just finished that, the book during the reading sprint. Okay. So this book was like 600 pages. And I feel like it did not need to be that long. There were a lot of repetitive conversations, a lot of repetitive situations, weirdly specific situations that were repeated. I did not think it needed to be that long. How about the bad first? The cons before I get to the pros. Yeah, it did not need to be as long as it was. Like I said, repetitive writing sentences, repetitive conversations, repetitive situations. The writing was extremely simplistic. Yeah. I kind of wanted, like I said before, there was all telling, no showing in the book. We got front-loaded in the first 2 chapters of like everything that Shannon and Johnny had been through up to that point. It wasn't revealed at all subtly within the book, throughout the book. We knew everything. So there were like no surprises in the book. We knew everything. So really at no point I can think of were we ever surprised in the book or really a reveal, anything was revealed to the reader, or was never any time anything, nothing was revealed to us the whole time. What else is a con? Yeah, just the writing was extremely simplistic, but entertaining, but very simplistic. And I just like the way it was, everything was like front loaded, like all the trauma was like front loaded that we knew about everything. And as the reader, I just thought that was not great. Is there anything else bad I want to talk about that I didn't like about it? Obviously it had super hyped. Did it live up to the hype? Not quite. Didn't quite live up to the hype, but I guess this is a good way to talk about the pros. I really, really enjoyed it, which you might think that's weird because you just kind of like complained about it for a whole minute, but I really, really enjoyed it. It was very entertaining. It's giving me like kind of like after vibes a little bit with like how it's just like sugar. It's just like book sugar. There's not a ton of substance there, but it tastes good. It's entertaining. It like makes your brain kind of like synapses go crazy for a little bit. So that's how I kind of would say it. It's just like a sugar. It's just like a sugar high. Not necessarily well written. I would say that, yeah, Shannon's fine as a character. I really grew to like Johnny. I really like Johnny. Gibbsy is like amazing character. I really like him. And like Claire, I like them. I like all the cast of characters that surround them. They're friends, which really elevated the book because our 2 main characters really don't spend that much time together until like very much late half of the book. They do, but not a lot for how many pages are in this book. So the supporting cast really carry a lot of this book for the first 300 pages about. They're great. They're really interesting, and I like that some of the other ones have books because I will be really interested in reading their books. Yeah, love Johnny. Obviously, so the whole thing about this series this book that people talked about was how like devastating it was. And besides Shannon's storyline, which is incredibly horrible, heartbreaking, and hard to read, that aside, I don't think this book was that sad. Really? Maybe I just have a high tolerance for sad books, but I really didn't think this book was that sad. Obviously, not counting Shannon's storyline, which was horrendous. And that last chapter was really brutal to read. It was awful. Also, Johnny's parents are like, as people, I liked them, but I think they are totally negligent parents as well. Just because things kind of ending up okay in their family structure, I do feel like they're negligent parents as well. Yeah, they're not like Shannon's, but that doesn't mean that they necessarily aren't making big mistakes. I think they are. Even though I like them as characters, I like them as people. I think they're good people, but they're making mistakes. Shannon's parents are not good people and making mistakes. Yeah, so that's what I thought. I am going to read more of the series. I am going to start the audiobook for Keeping 13, like stat, because I do want to know what's going to happen. The book, I would say, ends on a cliffhanger. So thankfully I can just read the next book. I'm going to start the audiobook. Yeah, so I'm very intrigued. I want to read more. I really liked it, but there was like a lot of like glaring, from a writing perspective, glaring like things that just weren't good. So initial thoughts on this would be 4 stars out of 5. Very entertaining. Gave me, actually the drama like between the two of them wasn't as much. There was like a lot of internal brooding, internal struggle between them. Like I thought it, like with 600 pages, I thought it would have gotten a lot further than it did. So if you like kind of a quick get together with the couple, don't read this book because that's not gonna that doesn't happen. It takes a long time for things to develop between these two. Spoken out loud, not in their heads. All right, so I think that's probably all I have to say about it. Definitely, slightly didn't live up to the hype, but I enjoyed reading it. I will read more. I'm anxious to see what's going to happen in the second book. I did not expect how funny it would be. Like, I was like cackling and laughing out loud. Like 3 different chapters that I can think, or 3 different like situations I can think of. One was with Brian the cat. I'm trying to I'll say this without spoilers. Brian the cat. The second was the conversation that Johnny and his mom have in the kitchen. And then the one that Johnny, his dad, and his mom, Gipsy, all have near the end of the book. I was cackling at those parts. So I did not expect to laugh so much at this book. So yeah, I feel like that I didn't think it was going to be funny at all, but it was actually had some really hilarious parts of the book. So that's Binding 13. I can't believe I finally read it. Yeah. Okay. So that's all for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know below what you thought of Binding 13, because I feel like I'm the only person that hasn't read it. So please let me know in the comments below what you thought. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And be sure to stop by in our reading and productivity sprints that we have about twice a week. We have a really fun group in there. And we also have a Discord now. So I will have that will all be, the Discord will be linked below. If you want to join between sprints, we chat about books over there and it's been fun. Yeah, so that's it for me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.